Hi everyone, back again. Our next session, it will be by Shoana Taylor, and she's joined us from United Kingdom, and she will be talking about personal alignment and how to banish stress, engaging the full human aspect. And Shoana, over to you. I will stop sharing and
Lovely.
thank you, Shoana, for joining us.
Thank you, Antonio. It does seem like such a long title. However, it will all be very nicely taken apart and explained for you. So they say that we teach what we need to learn in this life. And I would say this was very much the way with me. And what happened to me was that I used to be an expert at stress. That was I was very good at that. I'm naturally a highly strung person, and I like doing things. I'm very task focused and orientated, and so during my 20s, particularly around the time of my studies, I also developed an issue around time and time pressure and sort of living by the clock, which always added extra pressure to any situation, especially when it came to deadlines. And so as I was leading up to my final year exhibition, I was studying fine art, and I took on more. Long story short, I basically took on more than I could within the given time frame. And as the date led up, I could see I wasn't going to manage the time to complete all the tasks I needed to. So what I'd done is, instead of ordinarily just having a room filled with artworks, I had acquired a small 3-story building and decided I would fill that and complete a big installation there. So what happened around that is, leading up, so 5 days prior, I could see that I needed to really ramp up my output, and I didn't sleep for the 5 days leading up to my exhibition. Needless to say that I also didn't quite hit the deadline. And so what happened was I kind of had a physical collapse. My adrenals kind of gave up on me, and I kind of hit a wall physically. So this was my experience of extreme stress, and it was a big lesson for me. It took about a year to recover from that physically. At the back end of something like that, you experience feeling very low, no emotions, very flat, very empty. And then sort of shortly after that, about 2 months later, I was also involved in a car accident as a passenger, but it put me out of action for about 3 months. And over that time, I had no use of my hands and my arms, and it gave me time to think, let's say. I realized I had been living my life very out of alignment, completely divorced from my body, completely divorced from my needs. I had not put my health, I had not acknowledged my health at all. I'd actually put my health at risk. And then, so, my life was at risk, sort of metaphorically speaking, within this accident. Although I didn't nearly die, it kind of sent that message to my subconscious. And so I realized I had to change my life. And sometimes, we get these lessons. Maybe some of you can relate to this. And it's what I call a wake-up call. And so I was fortunate enough that I was able to recuperate. I had to go home and stay with my mum. She was working at the time on a game farm in South Africa. So I was very fortunate that I was able to sort of recuperate in this very quiet, peaceful place in nature, which helped to take me out of all that city busyness and sort of constant place of doing and achieving. And so I learned 3 important lessons. And the one lesson was that I was no more or less important than anything else in this universe. It was literally just the same. I also learned that because I've been living completely incorrectly and out of alignment with myself, I'd been so driven with an objective and a goal, which I think is also quite typical culturally. We can discuss this a little bit, that I had put myself out. And the last lesson was that I needed to learn, I needed to live in a different way and start living from a different place, not be quite so driven. So towards the end of my recovery time, I met a lady, also just to say that I've been experiencing a lot of pain, sort of round the clock pain, let's say. So whilst in pain, all you think about is pain relief. And so what was on my mind at the time was just do the massage, longing for a massage. And so fortune has it that I met somebody who, she was trained as a Lomi Hawaiian massage practitioner. And I received 5 massages from her, which completely changed me. So not only was the pain removed, but also the PTSD that I experienced post-accident. I had a lot of fear getting back into a car and that sort of thing after that, and it completely cleared that away. So I decided to train, and the training was done in 4 different retreat-style trainings. And I learned a lot over that time about the body. I learned about how our body holds on to memory physically. So any experience we have in this life, we literally, it just sort of channels straight into our physicality. We're full of water, so water and electricity and also genetics from our parents, and all this translates into kind of like a memory capsule. So we really are, our memory doesn't exist in our head, it literally exists in our body. So through the process of body work and breath work, because the breath work was quite a major part of how this particular massage is translated, and it also incorporates some movement as well. I learned how that discharging memory from the body and trauma basically just can heal your situation. So I completed the training, and after that time, it put me on a completely new path. So I'm just wondering here if anyone can relate to this kind of wake-up call in their lives, and if you want to share what you may have experienced in your own wake-up call or in your own sort of transformation. I'd be really interested to hear, or just to see. Just give you a couple of minutes. There's some questions there. Okay, that's something else. So maybe not. So perhaps I can give you some time to reflect on that. So after learning about what can happen with the body, maybe 10 years later, I then also retrained as a coach, and this is where I learned, and also in neuro-linguistic programming. So I learned really about the subconscious mind, and also the mind and our strategies and how we live our lives. And this sort of added an extra benefit onto what I was already doing with the body work, and gave me a sort of deeper understanding as to why we develop these kind of strategies around our belief systems. Our belief systems generally will help us, but they don't help us in the long run. They become quite limiting, but it is a safety mechanism that our subconscious develops to protect us. But they are not always in our best interests. So just like touch base with my notes here. Yeah, so just to talk about stress a little bit, if we look at what stress is and how it comes about, I was trained also as a stress coach. That became my interest. That's sort of what I specialized in. So I was very interested in how we respond and why we respond in the way we do to certain given circumstances, or what triggers us off. So, you know, obviously this is something that's built into us historically as humans. So it's our safety or survival mechanism. And we need it we would have needed it for running away and staying safe, getting away from scary wild animals. But nowadays, it's generally external pressure that's placed on us. It could be from a job. We could be having challenges in our relationships. Sometimes it's internal pressure, such as wanting to achieve something. So stress really manifests in all different ways, and we either really engage in it, or we can actually step back. And it does take some training to step out of our reactive and reflex response, which is, you know, based in the fear part of our brain, the limbic system, which is our fight, flight, or freeze response. And there are, you know, different mechanisms in which we can override this, and breathwork is one of them. So even just anchoring into your breath is the most instant way you can break that sort of the motion or the momentum of the stress peaking. You can also, it will help break the chemicals that are generated. So it will help break the adrenaline that is formed, the shutdown of the front part of the brain. So your breath is just like your best friend. Your breath is the most instant savior tool that will fix and diffuse, should I say, any stress that is caused. So we'll come to some exercises shortly. And so if we talk about alignment again, and I touched on the body mind and how we need to integrate our body mind, and how the body stores memory. So when we are as we experience something on a daily level, any stress that we experience, which is a state of being out of alignment, this then is recorded in our body, and we hold on to it unless we choose to diffuse that. And we need to sort of look at 3 different areas of how we're functioning in the world, let's say. So we need to think about what we're thinking. This is all part of how we recognize how we're aligned or not aligned. So we need to look at how we're thinking and what we're thinking about. We need to look at what we're saying, our self-talk, or what we're saying out there, because that also reflects where we're at, how we're feeling, and then what we're doing. All of these things will reflect to us where we're at and how aligned we are or how aligned we're not. So if we just look at how we're not aligned, let's maybe get some responses from the audience about how just some situations or examples that show us how when we're not in alignment. Do we have people here today?
Shoana, are you asking for people to ask you questions?
Yeah, just to put in the chat box, just some examples of what you think it looks like not to be aligned. Just when you're sort of just really out of yourself, when you're stressed out, we could say. Just examples about that.
We have some, I mean, it's not a question, it's just Olena.
Right.
She's just said that she spent 10 years of life working on non-stop, moved to Dubai when I realized I was depressed, confused and empty, misaligned with my life in Dubai, went to India, did yoga teacher, training course, learning breathing techniques, and now live my life more aligned to my feminine nature, balancing in a way that's masculine and feminine energy. I think she probably related to something that Nesha was talking about before, the masculine and the feminine energy. Yeah.
I'm not sure where you're seeing the chats. Is it in the Q&A?
It's in the Q&A or also on your, if anyone can chat directly to you or either on a panel list.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, here we go. Donna says digestive issues, skin issues, anxiety, anger. Yeah, all expressions of misalignment. Absolutely. And also what I'd say, when we recognize those areas of thinking, how we're feeling, what we're saying and what we're doing, to recognize when we're out of alignment, these things are often split up. So we say something, but we don't follow through with an action. We do something different. That's an example of misalignment. Another example is we think about something, but we feel very differently about it. So I think I must stay in my marriage, but I actually really don't feel I must stay in my marriage. Random example. Another example can be very much around boundaries. For example, a neighbor asks you to look after their cat while they go on holiday. You say yes, but you're allergic to cats. So you do it out of a sense of duty, but then you're putting yourself at risk. So these are different ways. Also with our language, it's very, once you become aware of your speech and your language and how you communicate, then you're able to pick up, especially if it comes in the sense of a repeated phrase, you're able to pick up when you're misaligned. You might be just using the word exhausted a lot, but you're not aware of it. It's totally subconscious. Yeah. So these are different ways that we are frequently out of alignment. So alignment really means making sure that what we say, what we think, what we feel, and what we do is the same, is one and the same. They're not, saying and doing different things. It's really going to give us very, very kind of a mixed life experience when we're split in this way. I had another time where we're supposed to learn the first time, right? But I didn't learn after that time. I decided at one point in my life I wanted to work in the film industry, and so I wanted to work in the art department, and it just seemed so glamorous, working on feature films, traveling everywhere, making loads of money. Fabulous. Qualified? Yes. No, I could do that stuff. And I moved to Cape Town, and I started getting some jobs on set, working on commercials firstly. So first of all, long hours, 12-hour plus days, okay? And you're just on the go. If you have a lunch break, that's just a gift, but generally not. And this is post my massage training, by the way. And I found myself on this commercial, on this set, and I was running these crazy hours and just like flat out in a car, really tired. And I ended up having to pick up the lunch the one day, and I pulled over, and it happened to be right next to the studio or the therapy room of one of my massage buddies who trained with me. And I pulled in to say hello to her, and she stepped out of her little room looking radiant and like calm and peaceful and energized. And I was just this total wreck. And I just sort of like realized my head had wanted something for myself, but I hadn't really wanted it. I was, again, out of alignment. So all of these lessons, they really come to us to teach us how to be a lot truer to ourselves.
We have a questions from Donna.
Yeah.
She says, so would you say that misalignment is a state of not living in our truth?
Yeah.
Not be able to express how we truly feel about a situation.
Yeah. It's not living true to who we really are. Because often, also when we're younger, we are learning who we are. It's just like, who am I? I don't know. You're just trying it out. You're very much trying it out. So, and we often do stupid things. Well, I certainly did. So we looked at the congruent and what it doesn't look like. So what I intend to bring through the end of this session, and we're going to do a little exercise in a moment, just a simple breath work before we do the big one. So this exercise as well will help you connect with your mind body, because if we are going to use the premise that by disconnecting from the mind and accessing the body immediately, it gives you better power over your stressful situation. First of all, it's instant, and it pulls you back to who you are, to yourself. Yeah. So this exercise is quite simple. So I want you to reflect back to a recent time where you found yourself in a stressful situation, but we're going to do it about a 5 or a 6 out of 10. So not too strong. We don't want any big trauma happening, but just around a 5 or a 6 out of 10. It might have been a small conflict or some kind of situation. So just connect with that. So you might want to close your eyes and put yourself where you were at the time. So physically where you were in your environment. And what was going on? What was being said? How that felt? Just breathe it in to experience that again. How that felt. And just notice what's happening in your body when you go to that memory. Just give you a few moments. And when you're ready, just share in the chat what you noticed, what sensations you noticed in your body, and what you noticed out of that memory, accessing that memory. Did you all manage to do that? You want to share in the chat how that was, accessing that moment? How was that? What happened? What did you notice in your body?
Don't have anyone shared anything, Shoana.
No one shared.
It's connected. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If something comes in after that. So the next little part of the exercise, we're going to reverse. So that was going into a memory through our mind. So the next part of the exercise is how your body actually affects your mind. And this is true. So we have in our language, we have sayings, and language is always a really good indicator, I find, to express things that we do culturally and also things that we may do personally. So, for example, we have in our language this expression when we're not feeling happy. We have this expression that we're feeling down. Yeah. And down is is very clear. It's a direction. And also when you observe somebody who's feeling low and who's feeling down, very, very often you'll see in the body language, you'll see some kind of hunching over, some kind of protecting the chest area, some kind of looking down. And that is generally the kind of physiology that is being reflected. Whereas if you think about someone who's feeling excited, children are the best at this, is that it's just out there. You know, they jump up, they fling their arms out, they open wide smiles and faces, it's out there, it's the opposite. So when we change our physiology, if we change the positioning of our bodies, it will directly affect our thinking. So this also works during the day. If you're sitting at your desk and you're typing and you find yourself slowly kind of getting close to the keyboard, or you're stagnating, just get up and move around. That's just going to be the best thing. Have a stretch. So when if you're feeling low, expanding your physiology outwards like this and looking up will quite literally change your mental state. Even if it's just for that moment, if you repeatedly do it, it will eventually change your mental state completely. And there's a well-known, when NLP was first begun, there was a hypnotist who had a client who was sort of perpetually depressed. And one of the exercises he gave him was to count the chimney pots on the way home. And this forced him to look up. And the act of looking up also enables you to access a different part of your brain, and it gives you a completely different outlook. So these are two ways in which our body affects our mind and our mind affects our body directly. We also know about the placebo. The placebo is probably the most well-known example of how people can be healed literally by taking an empty sugar pill and thinking they're taking the real thing. And there's an amazing book, actually, if you're very much interested in healing illness through the mind, by David R. Hamilton, PhD. He's done many studies of this. He's written a book called How the Mind Can Heal the Body. He's written several books, amazing.
We actually got someone say sense of loss of control, lost about my wisdom to respond with clarity, tightness in the belly, fast heartbeats.
Yeah, that's true. That's how you act when you access your memory. So when we access our memories, we re-experience the event again. we do not know the difference between what is real and what's not real. We can play that movie over and over and over to ourselves, and we just keep re-experiencing it. So to change that, we need to change the movie, and we need to release the memory. So this is the way we're going to come back into alignment with ourselves. Thank you for the feedback, everybody. So accessing memory made me feel angry again, hurt and disregarded, but also questioning as to why he may have approached the situation in the way he did. So the irritation of the initial experience was less this time round and more curiosity. Yeah, okay, thanks, Donna. Yeah, so what misalignment will also show us is how we are being, and I've got a wonderful exercise that will help you for future. We'll do that after we've done a little bit of breath work. So I think for now, we're just going to get into our bodies. We need a little bit of space to stand up. I'm going to fling this around, just swing this around. So we're going to just start with a connecting breath. We've been having breath work all morning, so I'm very well breathed by now. So this little practice I'm going to share with you is just 5 simple exercises that you can incorporate into your sort of morning routine. And it's just about connecting with yourself and your body again. We're just going to start seated with a connecting breath. So just get comfortable. I'm not sure however you're sitting. Make sure your back is straight, shoulders down. Just settle into yourself. And take a full breath in through the nose and just out through the mouth. 2 or 3 times. So now we're going to do that to a rhythm. So I'd like you to breathe in for the count of 4 and out for the count of 6. This very simple rhythm you can use instantly you're feeling any stress coming on. And we will often feel stress here, particularly we close up here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to open that out so that we are accessing our best selves. So let's breathe in. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do it 5 times. 4, 5, 6, and the 4th time. And the last time. Now, if you use pursed lips like you're blowing out a candle, it slows that breath down. It calms down the parasympathetic nervous system, which I'm sure you've learned already. So the next part of the breath is a box breath. So it uses a small amount of holding, and I'm going to do this one 5 times as well. So you're going to just breathe in the count of 4, hold for the count of 3, out for the count of 6, hold for the count of 3 on empty. And then we're going to repeat that cycle 5 times without any gap in between. So I'm just going to say in, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, 3, in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, 3. Coming to number 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Okay, I think we've done 5 now. So you should be feeling really nice and still after that little session, which you can do at any time. So the next little series, which literally is just 5 minutes that you could do every morning, and I'm going to stand up and I'm going to demonstrate. So you just need to stand up for this one and see if I can get far enough back. So this is a similar exercise. You're just going to do a continuous breath of counting in. So you're going to breathe in at the count of 4, or you can just keep it as a rhythm without having to count. You're going to breathe in, you're going to raise your palms up, turn them around, out through the mouth. Really anchor your feet on the floor firmly, nice straight back. Do that 5 times. Okay, so this one really helps when you're really stressed, extremely stressed. You take your left hand, you're going to place it on your forehead, and you take your right hand and you're going to hold the back of your head like that, and just hold both hands firmly so you're really supporting your head, and just breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So what this does is by connecting with your head, it helps to bring all the blood flow back to your head. It helps to take all the fear away out of your kidney area and just translate back to your head, because actually we do this automatically. If something terrible happens, we go, oh my God, like, oh, you know, or we hold our cheeks. When we do this, we are just really holding ourselves, supporting ourselves. My videos. Right. Not sure why my video went off there.
Sorry, Shoana. You're good now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, well, okay. Video's on now. Okay, so the next one is we're going to activate some trigger points here. So just below your collarbone, if you feel along here, you will find some quite tender little points. And these really connect us into our lung system, into our cardiovascular system, and connect us also with our emotional centers. Yeah. So what you're going to do is you're just going to give them a little rub and just breathe through that. Just rub and release these. Sometimes it can be very tender or a little bit painful. And you can move slightly across. You'll find another one closer to the lymphatic system. And these trigger points will release an enormous amount of stress instantly, or post-event, actually. Just breathe through. And switch to the other side. You find that little point. You'll find it because it's really tender. Just move across, you find the other one. It's just kind of near the pec muscle. Find the other one there. Good. Now you're just going to connect to your heart center. So you just connect to yourself. Take some big breaths in. Just notice how you're feeling there. You might want to greet yourself. Hello, me. How am I today? Keep your feet anchored nicely to the floor. Now in a clockwise motion, circle over your solar plexus. Keep the breath going. This is very comforting. We hold a lot of fear in our solar plexus. How we feel in the world, confidence, and how we feel about ourselves. The next one is a kidney swipe. So you're going to put both hands by your kidneys and flick forwards and breathe in again. And breathe out. I find this very relieving. Okay, so this is where we hold a lot of fear because our kidneys are back there and our adrenals are resting there. Okay, and the final one, you're not really going to be able to see me. I might just try and tilt down. So I'm going to swipe down the front of my legs as I breathe. Breathe in first, and then as you breathe out, swipe down the front of your legs all the way to your ankles. Bring your hands around the back of your ankles and swipe up, breathing in all the way up the back of your legs again and round to the front. We're just going to do that 5 times. So, and breathe out. And finish by standing in mountain pose, strong pose. Just anchor yourself. There we go. That's just that simple routine. So let me know how you're feeling after that. Just that little centering experience. Again, this is just like maybe it took 5 minutes, I think. Just a way to start the day and connect you into your body again. So whilst you're sharing, I'm going to talk about the 4 human aspects that I'm going to plug in my laptop as well, that I've mentioned at the beginning of this session, or that's part of this session, because in my experience, what I've found is when we work with these 4 human aspects and we address each one of them, we are most likely to stay in alignment. So we touched on that, recognizing our physical body, how we're thinking, how we're feeling, what we're saying, and noticing whether, you know, we're in alignment or not, or whether those are congruent, as we say. I'm just going to plug in my laptop quickly. So let's see if Does anybody want to take a guess as to what I might be referring to when I say the 4 human aspects, or 4 aspects that make us human? That might be a little bit clearer. Oh, good, Stephanie.
Yeah.
That's great. Nice to feel, yes, feel centered. Exactly. So when the importance of touch, and it's something we've lost over this past 15 months, where we've been banned from touching other people, and also experiencing touch ourselves. How we can, fix that is really by making contact with our physicality again, because energy flows where attention goes. This is a universal principle, quite literally. So where we place our attention anywhere in our bodies, and also if we bring touch to it, it will literally bring energy to that place, and will either bring something up, or it will make us notice what's happening there. So I'm going to explore that deeper when I talk about the 4 human aspects. So we spoke about, I'll give you some hints. So that we spoke about the 4 human aspects, and we spoke about the body mind mostly so far, and the integration and how they speak to one another. So I'm going to say there's two other aspects apart from the body mind. Does anyone want to put in what they think they might be? Put it in the chat. I think it's in the Q&A part of the chat.
Yeah, it could be both. Chat, yeah.
Yeah, just put it in the Q&A part, then it's easier. I don't have to keep looking at that.
Yeah. And if I see any, I will let you know, Shoana.
Oh, right. Okay, good. Okay, so no one really wants to engage. Okay. So, as human beings, what has been educated out of us is our full glory of what we are. So in our culture today, we are generally only seen as, particularly atheist Western culture, we are mostly seen as physical and mental, and kind of that pretty much wraps it up, or we have some messy emotions which don't really fit in anywhere. But we also have another aspect, which is our energetic aspect, the invisible part of us that connects us to the whole web of life, to the universe. If we break everything down into its molecular structure and even past that, its atomic structure, we are just, everything is mostly energy. So one of the, the major parts of us that is entirely neglected in the Western culture is our energetic system, which has everything to do with our health, has everything to do with our health and well-being of our physical health, our emotional health, our mental health, our spiritual health, all of it. So we are essentially physical, mental, emotional, and energetic, or non-physical. Most objects, actually, there's a physics science says that anything that has an electrical charge also generates a magnetic field. So electromagnetics, we are electrical, we're full of water as well. Water is a great conductor for electricity. We know we have electrical processes that happen in the body all the time. So therefore we generate this field. So we are connected to everything, and we are far more sensitive than we give ourselves credit for. And once we accept that, we attune far better to ourselves and also to others and to our environment as well. So if we look at, and so my approach and what has happened to me when I have neglected myself, which I sort of illustrated at the beginning with my story. When we neglect any of these components of ourselves, this is when we very much fall out of alignment. We're not true to ourselves. We're not being true to who we are, or we're not doing what is for our highest good. I think that's kind of where we need to look at it, really. So if we start off with our physical body, this obviously means taking care of how we are looking after our physical body. So that could be our diet and how we're living, whether we're getting enough rest, whether we're getting enough exercise. We have also culturally, in our Western culture especially, we are very divorced from our bodies, and the signals that our body gives us all the time, because that's what it does, our body will talk to us all the time, just as every aspect of us does, through its various signals. So how about share with me some ways you think our body talks to us? Just put in the chat, our senses, says Marika. How do you think our body talks to us and tells us what's going on with it?
Shall I say the brain, Shoana?
You can say that. I would say pain. Our body tells us what's wrong with it through pain. That's probably one of the most obvious signals. Our body will tell us what's going on with it through thoughts, yes. So we get thought patterns, flashes and insights. But I think pain is probably one of the most obvious signals that we get from the body when something's wrong with it. But typically in our society, what we're told to do is to suppress it. We take pills, painkillers, or, same if we have a problem that is affecting us, I want to say mentally, because there's that whole thing, affecting our state or well-being state. So whether if we're feeling unhappy, we're given a pill. We're always given pills for something instead of dealing with the root cause. So it's about training ourselves out of that by tuning into our body. Oh, I have a pain here. Okay, what's going on? Hello, body, what's going on? What shall I do? How do I care for you? Tuning into that. So the same with our mind. So our mind also needs attention, and we pay attention to our thoughts, and our thoughts, how they translate into our words and our self-talk, how we may be talking to ourselves. And what sort of thoughts are we having? Are they positive, empowering thoughts, or are they, disempowering, negative thoughts? Are they repetitive thoughts? Because very often, particularly if we have a very charged experience with someone, we will repeat that situation over and over and over in our heads, right? Over and over and over again, like we're brainwashing ourselves, basically, of that situation. So being aware of what's going on in our mind and taking care of our mental health really is like taking care of what thoughts we allow, and the best tools and mechanisms for that is meditation, and again working with the breath and meditation. And our emotions have a very powerful influence on us, and again culturally, traditionally, suppress our emotions. It's not healthy to show our emotions. This is changing somewhat. We're allowed to show our emotions now, or at least explain them away sometimes. But connecting with our emotions, again, often can be very uncomfortable. But when we really connect to our emotions and listen to our emotions, we are far better equipped to diffuse them and release them. So let's get some ideas from people what they think our emotions are for. Anxiety and panic attacks. Yes, exactly. That's the body telling you things, and your mind too. It's definitely your subconscious. Back pain, for example. Yeah, heart races. So, yeah, just give us an idea of what you think the purpose of our emotions are. What are they for? And then we'll do our final breath work after this little session. Okay, maybe it takes a little while for things to come through. So, for me, what I think emotions are for they are ways that we process everything we experience in our life, and the way we process and the way we experience what goes on around us. They also show others where we're at. I don't know how else quite to express it. And they show us where we are at as well. And having a good relationship and a good release valve for your emotions is very healthy. Not wallowing in them, but definitely having a good release valve. So you've learned over this little session as well that working with the body and working with the breath is a very good ways to discharge emotion and release the memories and the trapped emotions in the body. So then the final area is our energetic, I'm going to call it our energy body, our energy field, our essence of who we are. This just connects us to everything, all the important things, connects us collectively to, you know, to humanity, collectively to all life, and gives us meaning. It also gives us sensitivity so that we are able to better tune in to what's around us, and also, you know, who we are and what our needs are. And being aware of your energetic space means that you know, you're not going to allow, for example, negative energy into your space. You're not going to allow someone who's going to bring you down or be perhaps bring that into your home, for example. You know, be very clear with your boundaries. You can also, as you know, certain situations that might you find, you know, energetically draining. There might be someone who just gossips all day long or who complains. You notice that's really draining when you're around that all the time. These sort of things, becoming aware of these instances will help you protect your energetic sphere and your energetic body. So this is what alignment is for me, and what I wanted to share is taking care of these 4 aspects of self. And what I've learned is some of the most immediate tools, or one of them, is through breath work, and it's very easy to do. You can do it anywhere. It's free, and it's you accessing yourself and allowing yourself to come into your body and express itself and feel and be. So I'm done with the chat. If there's any questions, I'll take some now, and then we'll do a lovely last session. Oh, the chat box is working. Okay, we'll do a lovely last session, nice long sort of 20-minute breathwork session, which will be just a nice massive de-stressor. Yeah, okay, that chat's working. That's good. Right, close that one. Look at the Q&A. Yes, for regulation of our thoughts and actions. Yeah, exactly. So I hope that makes sense, and you could connect to some of that, what we've just spoken about. So just recap, summarize, connect the mind to the body. The mind and the body talk to each other all the time. Each one influences the other one. All of our memories are stored in our body system and also in this energetic sphere here. We release those through breath and through body work. And being in alignment is by being in a place of stress. Taking control of stress means being aware of our thoughts, what we say, what we do, how we're feeling, making sure they're congruent, and taking care of each aspect of ourselves, physical, mental, emotional, and energetic, will help us stay on the right track. This is something that's just a continual adjustment, you know, throughout our lives. It's not a fixed thing, because we have to flow with life. Sometimes we just get a big challenge and whoa, you know, we have to adjust to the challenge. So continual adjustment. So are there any questions, or is there anything you would want to know, which I'll answer now before we move into a nice long breathwork finish?
Shoana, would you like a 1-2 minutes break?
I think what I need to do is I need to set up my sound so I can hear my sound.
Okay, if you share screen and then click on the bottom sounds.
Share sound. Okay. It's just on my laptop. It's not a plug-in thing.
Yeah, you just share screen first.
Yeah, I've done that. So
and then, did you see sounds?
Yeah.
And click the circle.
Oh, wait. Now it says to share your computer audio, please install the Zoom audio device. Please restart your audio sharing application, such as Media Player.
Okay, just turn your volume up and we will hear. Don't worry, Shoana. We'll do that. Okay.
Fine, yeah. Okay, so let's just check if there's any questions before we move on. No. Okay, so what I would say is, just take a minute to, have a walk around if you need, get some water. You can do this session either sort of in a reclining position with a pillow and a blanket, or you can do it sort of sitting. It's just a bit of it's going to be a nice journey, basically. I'm going to shut the door because it's getting a bit cold now.
Yeah, we'll back at 12:07.
Okay, brilliant.
Thank you. Shoana, we can start when you're ready.
Yeah, lovely. So let me just find my music. Okay, so everybody to get nice and comfortable. So just get nice and comfortable and relax. Just knowing that you don't have anywhere to be right now and there's nothing to do. Just connect with your breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And start to build a nice ebb and flow of your breath coming into your body and leaving your body. Coming into your body and leaving your body. Find a nice rhythm and flow. And just notice how that feels. Just be comfortably resting and sensing yourself as you flow in and out. In and out. Breathe in fully and out fully. Try and breathe in a rhythm that's equal. Breathing in and breathing out. With no space between your in-breath and your out-breath. Breathe into any tension you might be holding in your body. And just find a way of letting that go. Breathe in life. Breathe out the stress. Breathe in the relaxation. Out the stress. Breathe in the calm and clarity. Out the fatigue and negativity. Just be here right now with yourself, with the ebb and flow of your breath. There's nothing you need to do. Continuous flow, breathing in and out. In and out. and out. Breathing in and out. Allow all the thoughts to just gently ease away and dissipate. Like you're sitting in a passing train and the scenery is passing you. Just allow the thoughts of the day, of your week, just to pass you, just to disappear, like the clouds moving in the sky, like the scenery passing you. Maintain that rhythm, the rhythm of life. Just invite yourself in, just to be here fully. Be here fully for the next 15 or 20 minutes. And just quietly thank yourself for showing up today. Because it can be hard. Place your hand on any part of your body where you feel you need to support. It can be hard to show up every single day. And deal with everything life deals you. That's it, just bring yourself fully into your body, all the way down, down past your stomach, down into your abdomen, all the way down to your toes, down your legs, down your knees, down your feet. Start to feel the tingling as your breath melts away the physicality of your body. You start to just become a rhythm, like the waves crashing on the shoreline. Pick up the pace a little bit. You can feel the tingling in your feet and your hands. Now you're going to pick up the pace of your breath to a nice rhythm. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. In, 2, 3. Out, 2, 3. Follow the rhythm of the music. Just allow any pictures, colours come to your mind, just to be there. And close your eyes, allow your eyelids to rest, and allow any spontaneous colours or patterns, any scenery, just allow it to come, allow it to be there in your vision. And just observe what's happening. And observe how it feels. You're fully here now. Keep that rhythm fully connected. Breathing in and breathing out. You want to switch to breathing through your mouth, you can do. Whatever feels good to you, just keep that rhythm. Maintain that rhythm. I'm going to take 10 deep, full breaths in and out, circular breaths, starting now. 1, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 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 in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. Last breath in, big breath in, and release. Breathe right out, and as you breathe out, the bottom of your out breath, you're going to hold that breath gently and just float along to this song, to this music, whilst you hold your breath and just feel your body. Can you feel it buzzing? Every cell in your body is buzzing. Vibrating there for you. It's alive for you. And when you feel the urge to breathe, breathe in again and hold. Count to 15, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and out. And return to the rhythm. Return to the circle of life. Return to that circular breath. Happy to be here. Happy to be alive. Let yourself sigh if you need to. And sigh. And in. And out. And in. And out. in, out again. That's it. Allow that full expansion. Now feel your skin around your body. I want you to notice the temperature of your skin around your body. I want you to notice any tingling. Notice the air outside of the skin around your body. Allow your breath to slow a little and slow the pace down. Hold yourself if you need to. And just connect with that space around your body. Now start to expand it. Expand that tingly sensation from inside your core out. Push it out through your skin, outside of your skin and outside of your body. Let it radiate out. That which is you as you breathe more of yourself in. Slow the pace a little. Okay, we're going to do one more breath hold. So I'd like you to take 2 deep breaths in, full breaths in. And out. And another one in. And out. And on the bottom of that breath, just hold. Just hold and pause your life for 1 minute. Pause. 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 Feel that electrical sensation flying around your body. Allow it to push itself out. You're here and you're fully alive. And when you feel the urge to breathe again, breathe in and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And breathe out. And relax. Just sigh. And return to your normal breath. Thank you. Thank yourself for being here, right now. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you, Shoana.
Okay, so when you're ready, you can come back to the room, open your eyes. And it would be lovely to hear how that was in the chat box, please, when you're ready. The music was too loud. Oh, sorry about that. I can't tell what's going on with the sound.
Yeah, it was
I did
very significant sessions, Shoana, from your speech to the end. So thank you so much for joining us, and it's we appreciate your valuable time. Thank you for being with BreathHub team as well.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry if the music was not right. It was difficult for me to know volume. Yeah, it's hard for me to set the volume and know. I guess we should have tested that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't very loud, but it was okay. I mean, yeah, obviously we need to, we understand some people found was loud. So, Shoana, thank you again. And yeah, let's enjoy the rest of the day. You can stay with